one colorless to one green.
Yeah.
And
that guy was awesome.
That card was really awesome.
Yeah.
It was actually awesome in Block Constructed. Because
I didn't play that.
Time Spiral Block Constructed.
Oh, no, I did. I played it after the third set when Tarmogoyf was all messed up.
There were aggressive decks, and if you boarded that in against them, holy God, it was just wretched.
Block.
It was block. Okay, you didn't kill it. You burned it. Okay, well there's another one. That's cool. And I know that Rashad Miller, the granddaddy of what we've got going on here right now, he was playing Penumbra Spider main in some of his constructed decks.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, looks like we have Gerry versus Sam Roukas.
Gerry is playing Clawblade, and I don't know what Sam is playing.
Yeah. No, I remember Time Spiral Block was awesome. So many decks. So Gerry, this is Clawblade versus Tempered Steel.
So you're going to predict Tempered Steel unless you don't like their list. Is that correct?
This Tempered Steel deck is going to demolish, I believe.
Ornithopter?
I have to see what's... Yeah, this is the Japanese... Or maybe not. Gerry has main deck Dave Judgments. We'll have to see. Yeah. I don't think Gerry has necessarily enough to deal with all of this. I don't like this Tempered Steel list the most. It's the Japanese one with 3 Glinthawk Idols only and 4 main deck Ornithopters, but this list kills people.
It's very fast.
The 18 land one.
Like, this is the list I'm most used to seeing, which is basically 4 ofs, Memnite, Glinthawk, Ornithopter, Signal Pest, Steel Overseer, Vault Scourge, and 3 ofs, Glinthawk Idol, and Porcelain Legionnaire.
And then Dispatch, Tempered Steel, Rex Opal is a 4-of.
Yeah.
Contested Warzone in your deck. This deck needs it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the X1 or XO bracket right now, but
Edgar Flores and Nathan Johnson.
Sounds like Edgar Flores might be undefeated.
Elspeth. Then table 15, 1-5, table 15 at Garrow is Eli Cassis and Matt Landstrom. And table 16,
that's the Vampires vs. Clawblade, Matt Landstrom and Eli. We have them both.
That would be Gerry Thompson and Sam.
So I think this is the X1 bracket.
I think that might be the case. Well, at least some of them are,
Well, this match is at
16,
table 16.
Table 16?
Yeah.
Players, if you are seated,
so Gerry's got, let's see, his weekly spice. He's running a Maria Angel. He's got 3 Preordains, 1 Ponder, a Twisted Image.
Okay, let's pause for a second. 3 Preordains again, and 1 Ponder. Like,
where is this suddenly coming from?
I am really curious about this, because we keep seeing 1 Ponder replacing a Preordain.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is what's happening. Sometimes one of the things I do when I'm trying to figure out a card, if it's close, right? Like, I might have a forest that has a different art and like 7 other forests. So that when I play, I can be like, this forest should have been something else.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe he's just being like, let's see if Ponder is good.
I think that might be the case. I don't think that's going to be true next year. Ponder is going to go back to what it used to be, which is kind of mediocre because you don't have Hawks or fetch lines. But right now, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Preordain is worse than Ponder right now.
Well, I mean, like, the question mark is this, right? Like, the old claim, once again, that Shaheen Surani made was that if you don't have Stoneforge Mystic, you shouldn't play Preordain. He could be totally wrong, but, like, if he's not wrong, Gerry Thompson is one of those people that he's willing to take risks with deck building, but he also, he's the kind of guy that he wants to win. Yeah. He doesn't take risks just because, what the heck. Yeah. That is, being at Gerry Thompson with this split makes me really pay attention to it.
Yeah, I like the Twisted Image. That's one that I like.
Well, particularly if he happens to play against the Edgar Flores version, which is running the 2 Spellskites main.
That might just be the next level.
And I think, gotcha.
Yeah. Only 2, his main deck Oblivion Ring, 2 Timely Reinforcements, a Consecrated Sphinx, only 2 Jason, a Gideon. 1 Gideon's really going to hurt him here. Gideon's one of the key cards for this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, in most aggressive matchups, Gideon is the card you fear.
Oh, yeah. This deck especially, and like very particularly this version has a lot of issues with Gideon. More so, like the other versions can run Oblivion Ring. They're also pretty bad against Gideon. Gideon is one of the cards that's actually good against Tempered Steel.
I mean, sideboard, between main and sideboard, Gerry has access to 4 Timely Reinforcements, and it doesn't look as though there's anything rational that Sam Roukas can do to stop Timely Reinforcements from being really good against him.
Attack with Flyers. it's not actually that impressive against Temper Steel. The creatures, this is the Glinthawk list too. So the only creatures that it has to block with are like Memnites and like Force Illusioner gets blocked.
That's fair. That's fair. So we can see on the left, Gerry Thompson, and Sam Roukas on the right. This is the 7th round of Star City Games Open Series here in Pittsburgh. We're in the middle of Standard. I'm Adrian Sullivan. I'm here with Ari Lax. Turn 2, Sam Roukas attacks with his Vault Scourge.
Looks like he mulligans. A lot. Steel Overseer. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it looks like he mulled a 6.
Okay. Second turn, Steel Overseer. Gerry goes land go. 2 Seachrome Coasts. In comes the Vault Scourge, pumping up immediately, making both of his creatures into 2/2s. This means it's pretty likely that he does not have a creature he's going to drop that's an actual creature. Okay, maybe a slight mistake there. Might have been pretty useful to do both of those plays before the attack and get a token on that Ornithopter. He goes Ornithopter, cast Glinthawk, return Ornithopter, cast Ornithopter. End of the turn, we get a Into the Royal on the Steel Overseer from Gerry Thompson. Gerry then lays a Arid Mesa, sacrifices it immediately to get a Plains, and lays a Squadron Hawk going through his library. And I'm guessing he's got 4 cards in hand, so probably 3 Squadron Hawks.
Nate Colson.
Maybe he has 5 cards in hand. Maybe he has another Squadron Hawk in his hand. Sam comes in for 4 in the air. Follows up with a 4th land. That's a lot of land for Sam's deck. Sam is only playing 18 lands. Lays the Steel Overseer we knew about from before. Lays the Glinthawk. Returns the Ornithopter. Casts the Ornithopter. Gerry has 2 Day of Judgment in his deck, and there is one of them. Totally devastating Sam's board.
Legacy Challenge players, you have 50 minutes.
And Sam says go. No follow-up to Gerry's Day of Judgment.
Yeah, that was pretty much how Gerry was going to stabilize there.
Now, it'd be very different if Gerry had done much digging to get there, but he just was like, there it is. And a Myriad Angel plus a land. I'm going to say we're going to have to wait a few turns, but I don't think Sam's coming back.
Yeah.
For now, Gerry gets to go again against an empty board.
Not with his 6 lands so far. Sam is not going to defeat that start.
And unloads the Squadron Hawks.
Death by birds.
Sam packs it up. We go to game 2. Gerry has Ratchet Bomb in his sideboard, which is actually very powerful in this matchup. Revoke Existence is solid. And do you think he brings in Twisted Image for this matchup?
Yeah. I think he does. Just Signal past Ornithopter and Spellskite will die to it.
An extra copy would be great. And then he also has a 3rd Day of Judgment in the board. The 3rd Day of Judgment, very important here. On the other side of the table, Sam Roukas. What's he going to bring in? Shrine of Loyal Legions.
Yep.
And I don't think that there's anything else that makes the cut.
Yeah, Spellskite's not very good. Core Firewalker's not very good. Yeah, that's it. Just Shrines. Does he want all 4 even? I don't actually think that that's a 4-of card, but we'll see.
Well, let's pretend that you're concerned about the possibility of Day of Judgment tearing up your world. So you're going to be a little bit more conservative with your cards, right?
Right.
Does that mean then that you cut 4 Ornithopters and just make that as your straight-up swap?
I just hate Glinthawk. I would cut Glinthawk, but I wouldn't have played Glinthawk to begin with, so... it's a non-artifact guy. It doesn't really get you anywhere. It's just kind of...
I like that. I like killing Glinthawk. That seems really nice.
Yeah, I don't think it should be in the deck, like I said, so... Let's see.
So you see Gerry shuffling up right now, and Sam is also finished sideboarding, so he's doing a pile. I don't know that there's anything else he would want to do other than that 4-up swap. 4 Shrine of Loyal Legion for 4 Glinthawk.
But I don't even know if, like I said, maybe 4 Shrines is too many. It's just not, like, at a super aggressive card. I've been fine with 3 when I play it.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not sure how much Sam can afford to just go for super aggression against a deck that resists him. I mean, particularly think of it like this, right? You're Sam. You see Gerry cast a Day of Judgment in Game 1 without searching for it. He doesn't cast a single Preordain or any other kind of search cards, and he just straight up turn 4 cast a Day of Judgment. Now you have to be wondering, how many days is Gerry running?
I wouldn't expect more than 2 still.
I mean, it's possible for more, though, right?
It's possible, but not probable.
I would be looking at myself and thinking, or looking at him and thinking, there's some reasonable chance that Gerry's main decking 3. I'm not saying it's the likeliest of chances.
Yeah.
But, you know, that there is a chance.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, like, I mean, turn 4 Day of Judgment, for that to be more likely, 3 is it's either lucky at 2, super lucky at 1, or reasonable at 3.
Sure.
And then we have, what does Gerry take out? Some of his counterspells?
Definitely some of the counter spells. I don't know how good Feast and Famine is here. It's probably really bad. Like things like Ornithopter and Glinthawk just like stand in the way. You know, Glinthawk Idol, Nexus.
Do you like Jace Bellerin in this match?
Probably not.
There we go.
Gerry's sending it back. Sam looks like he's keeping.
I mean, if you cut the counterspells, that's 7 slots. And that's 2 Revoke Existence, 2 Ratchet Bombs, Day of Judgment, Twisted Image for 6. And if you don't like the swords, it's pretty easy to drop swords for timely reinforcements.
Yeah. Let's see here. I guess against Callblade, multiple shrines might be reasonable. You have a lot of time for them to get going.
They're not going to be killing it anytime soon. It's pretty quick.
I'm more used to like Titan decks where your shrine has a time span where it's relevant. For which point it's just like, well, I've got like 7 zombie tokens and are trailing everything. So Sam has a turn 1 Vault Scourge to Gerry's Island.
Contested Cliffs, is that an
Warzone.
Inkmoth Nexus? Or sorry,
Warzone.
Contested Warzone, not Cliffs. There are no
I'd be
beasts.
impressed with you, yeah.
No beasts in Sam's deck.
Sam's gonna follow up with Porcelain Legionnaire.
3/1
going down to
first strike.
17. I like that guy because he dodges Ratchet Bomb. Or at least for 2, which is what most of your other guys cost.
Gerry says go.
Yeah. Probably about to see just a bash for 5-6 here. No. Rather try and advance the board a little.
Yep, he doesn't want to have an Into the Royal do a lot of damage against him.
Shrine. Did not see that one in his hand. That one for sure is coming down.
We could see an Into the Royal here at end of turn, perhaps returning the Porcelain Legionnaire.
Yeah. What? Not the shrine?
I think that the Porcelain Legionnaire is more of a threat immediately.
Well, Gerry has a Day of Judgment, so the Porcelain Legionnaire is not actually a threat. I think he just needs to control the shrine.
The damage is the threat. And Gerry says go.
Shrine goes to 1. Sam is still missing a 3rd land to get that shrine off, but...
Someday.
Yeah, eventually it'll happen.
In for 5. Make it 7.
And for 4, make it 6.
Make it 4, make it 6. Thank you. My bad.
Twisted
Image.
Make it 4.
It is -2 damage for +1 cards, or for a card equivalence.
Yeah,
card
equivalence. Good old reviving dose.
A free -2 damage,
Yeah. Good old reviving those.
Number 4, assignment stage.
Land.
Number 4, assignment stage.
There it is, Glacial Fortress.
Gerry debating whether to Day of Judgment or to try and extend this board position with one of his other cards.
I mean, historically, Gerry has always been somebody that tries to get as much advantage out of a situation as possible, but I was going to hope he would do that.
Yeah.
Because it's too dangerous. It's just too dangerous what can happen to you.
Sam drew a Linthawk Idol, it looks like. Has another shrine, but is choosing to play a Steel Overseer. And there's that Ponder.
Arranges the top.
They look like the kind of lands I'd be shuffling away at this point.
Puts him on top after the rearrange. That's an Amiria Angel.
Oh, that's why he kept.
Casts Timely Reinforcements, maybe?
Yep.
There it is.
Gerry back
6
to 8.
life, 3 guys.
Sam stuck off white mana. We saw this earlier today.
Lays a second Overseer.
Shrine to 3. And Sam passes back. Gerry's probably going to start dominating this game with an Amiria Angel pretty soon. And that contested war zone is a pretty big liability right now.
And Gerry casts Amiria Angel and a land. Makes a bird, and pretty much from where Sam is sitting has torn up this game.
Yeah, Sam just couldn't really cast his spells this game, it looks like. Sam's asking whether he bounces the summoning sick or not summoning sick one.
Like that Gerry reaches over and takes it.
Yeah.
Mine.
Thanks. Yeah, this match is...
It's over. It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, Ornithopter is not going to do it here against the beatdown crew of contested war-zoned bird and soldier tokens.
One of the problems with playing 18 lands is that, on average, you're not going to draw very many.
There's only 11 planes in this deck.
That's not very many. There were 16 planes in the list that your friend was running.
Yep.
I think that's maybe a little bit more reasonable.
A little bit less gutsy.
I mean, I'm a fan of Guts.
But
I'm a fan of Guts, but...
This is a little bit too much. I mean, he has 2 more Mox Opals, so he really only is missing like 3 white sources, but it's still a lot.
well, I mean, Mox Opal doesn't turn on right away.
By the time you're casting double white spells, it will.
Yeah. And Mox Opal doesn't like being Mox Opal number 2.
I agree.
I mean, I definitely have seen this happen, though, where opponent casts Mox Opal, or, casts Mox Opal to use the mana.
Yeah, Gerry
then,
just gets in for Amiria Angel damage.
Yeah. Then casts another Mox Opal to kill the Mox Opal, and then a third Mox Opal to get more mana. I mean, I've seen that happen, but it's not usually the right line.
3's a crowd.
If you need the +1 mana,
Worst Poetic Ritual of all time.
Each one's worth half a mana after the first one.
It's like Gerry's hand is just more lands, more beats.
More birds, more mess up your opponent's life. Here they
Everybody
come.
getting in there.
They're going to be at least one, maybe two deaths.
I think Sam may have missed a counter or two on that Ink Moth Nexus, though. Unless he's too afraid to risk it. Okay, so Sam's going to take 8. Surprisingly, Sam is not actually too far out of this game.
I buy that. I mean, he needs another flyer, though, really. Mm-hmm. The air is really killing him.
Oh, no, he's just dead on board here. Never mind. If he had drawn the land, he might have been in the game, but... That Nexus should have had some counters.
Revoke.
Sick Robbins. And that is the match there. So, quick dismantling of a Tempered Steel deck, which had admittedly some mana problems, but they were deserved ones based on the greed of the list.
The one though, I mean, drawing 6 lands, that was really, really difficult for Sam.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm talking about game 2 where you just, 18 land deck sometimes doesn't draw land.
Right,
I guess
right.
not deserved, expected is probably the better way to put it.
Yeah.
Sometimes your deck's not going to have all the lands you need, and, well, yeah. When it does, it smashes people, but when it doesn't, it just really kind of sucks for you, I guess.
Right.
I play Tempered Steel. I've been on that side of the equation many times before.
So for those of you who are just joining us, welcome to the Star City Games Live Open Series here in Pittsburgh. I'm Adrian Sullivan. I'm here with Ari Lax. And we just witnessed the end of round 7. Not the end of round 7, the end of the match that we were watching in round 7. Gerry Thompson with Cawblade. And he was just basically tearing up you called it the Japanese style of Tempered Steel.
It won Japanese Nationals.
Right.
The 18 land build. I cannot remember for my life the last name of the guy who won. His first name started with an R and his last name started with an I. That's all I remember. But he actually 11-0'd at that event in Standard. Just 8-0 constructed, 3-0 top 8.
Ryuichiro Ishida.
Yes. Yes, that one.
Yes. And I probably said that terribly wrong. I'm sorry.
Too bad Riki's back in his hotel room after dropping from the event.
I am sorry,
Mr.
Mr. Ishida. I am sorry. Ryuichiro is going to be how I'm going to try to pronounce that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite deck builders, Shouta Yasuka, in the top 8 there with Tezzeret. And looking at the various events all over the world recently, we've had Australian Nationals, French Nationals, Japanese Nationals, and they were probably fairly informed by the Star City Games Open Series, but then in return, they've given us back a lot of stuff as well.
Yeah, Twin Pod was something that we didn't really see till this weekend, and that was after Australian Nats kind of publicized it. Tempered Steel received a lot of press after the Japanese Nationals, and it hasn't really followed up too well on the results, but we'll see. The sort of green-white deck for the Japanese Nationals.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm curious about it. It's a Tomoya Fujimoto's deck.
It's got some weird numbers, but it does some cool things.
Now, we talked earlier how I was saying that I think French Nationals is generally one of those nationals to watch, and Japanese Nationals is also one of those nationals to watch. So, I mean, yes, there are definitely some odd numbers. One birthing pod is a strange number.
Yes.
But despite the fact that there's maybe some strangeness going on there, again, we maybe have this kernel of, is Birds of Paradise into Blade Splicer
where it's at
a good way to play?
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Yeah. I wonder if we can get another match this round.
If we're able to, we're going to try to guess another match, but it might not be possible. There might not be enough opportunity to get somebody on the camera.
With 3 feature matches, we've been having a rough time with that. It wasn't like 2 weeks ago when we had 3 feature matches in one round on camera.
Now, like the white that comes for, here we go. What do we got? Okay, Edgar Flores
victorious and
wins against Eldrazi Ramp.
Yep, Callblade won all of the matches so far this round. It went 3-0, 6-0 in features.
Right.
Against Eldrazi Ramp, Blackbird Vampires piloted by Matt Landstrom, and
Eli Cassis?
yeah, so Eli, Edgar, and Gerry all won their matches.
Right. Now, I think that, if I remember correctly, Matt Landstrom and Eli Cassis were at the undefeated table. So Landstrom,
I think Edgar was at the undefeated table, yeah.
Are you sure? I thought it was the other way around. I thought Edgar was on table 15, and... Oh, wait. They announced him first and said it was like table 4 or 5?
6.
Yeah, 6. And then the other ones were table 15 and table 16.
Yep.
So that means that Matt Landstrom has probably been eliminated from contention for the top 8.
Yeah, I thought Vampires might have been a good choice this weekend.
It's
Maybe I'm
still-
overestimating how good it is against timely reinforcements.
It still might be. Actually, timely reinforcements. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Hero of Bladehold is good. That's probably... Not Bladehold. Hero of Oxid Ridge
Yeah.
is good. That's probably one of your ways
I
of
agree with
trying
both
to
of your
get things-
statements.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's actually really rough. Because if you have the hero, how many are you going to run? 2?
I don't know how well you can support it. Maybe there's a different deck that can support Hero.
Well, I mean,
Boros? Can we go back to Boros?
Boros. Boros losing Stoneforge Mystic is real, but it's not like the hugest.
No, before Besiege, I actually was playing Boros, and I didn't want to play. I was like, why am I playing Stoneforge Mystic? You know, I just kept cutting them because all I wanted to do was burst lightning people. And like, there were the Squadron Hawks and like timely reinforcements.
Right.
It's not as reliable because you had to rely on like Elite Vanguard as your other 2-power 1-drop. But you know, the deck might be reasonable. Porcelain Legionnaire is a big bonus. As your sort of aggressive 2-drop.
Another thing to think about, actually, is if timely reinforcements becomes a regular way that decks work to defend against aggressive decks, that actually makes me wonder if Sword of War and Peace is a reasonable card to consider using.
We saw that in a junk deck a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty good against the Callblade decks.
Yeah, I mean, I know that in Bloomanji, in the previous format, I would run 1 Sword of War and Peace in the sideboard because you could metamorph a Mystic and get Sword of War and Peace.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah, well, it's actually really insane.
Yeah.
And then in other matchups, you could just play it for value when you have the right matchup.
The Pure Steel deck might be interesting. Like,
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah,
Pure Steel with Sword of War and Peace as a possible sideboard card.
or main deck. Are they main deck?
Main deck even, yeah. That's fair. Huh.
Yeah, War and Peace is pretty good right now. I know Caleb and Nate Pease were tearing it up with that deck.
Yeah, I think I saw something on Twitter from Nate that was maybe Facebook talking about how happy he was with that deck, but
It was actually a Star City article, I believe.
I think I might have seen it not on Star City. But,
Yeah, he and Cincy, they both Caleb top 4, Nate top 16, I believe. There was some weird incident involving people being dropped, but I don't know if that was resolved.
people being dropped.
Yeah, something like people marked drop on their last round slips and then were on the final standings.
Oh, got it.
So his record was top 16.
Right.
I don't know how that resolved.
Yeah. That's funny. Like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't mark. If you don't want to drop, don't drop.
Yes.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, dropping usually means you're not in contention for prizes anymore.
Even if it's the last round.
You know, like. Oh, boy. That's funny.
Yeah.
Now, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm not always looking at decks for their aggressive strategies. I actually really like control decks a lot too. It's just been I haven't really liked a control deck as of late.
Yeah.
In terms of like something that appeals to me as my sensibilities as a player. You know, it's sort of like Gerry Thompson, for example. He is traditionally someone that loves control on the pure control level.
Yes.
If you give him the opportunity to block, he's happy to do it. If you give him the opportunity to get card advantage, that's what he wants to do, is blow up the world, counter spells, things like that. And you'll notice that when he plays decks, he tends towards building them in that way. And for me, trying to find an aggressive deck that I like, it has to have certain factors. And Hero of Oxid Ridge, right now in this world of timely reinforcements and spell skites
Squadron Hawks,
that is an exciting way to build an aggressive deck, if you ask me.
It's possible that there's somewhere to be that involves Lotus Cobra, Squadron Hawks, Hero, and sort of War and Peace. Or just like Lotus Cobra and War and Peace is a pretty solid curve.
Right.
And you can play Heroes as well. Sort of like, I think we can look up the old Louis Laskin Magical Christmas attacks or Santa Claus attacks or whatever he called Hero.
I was just actually about to find all of the Hero of Oxid Ridge cards. Or decks, I should say. And I forget,
1D or 2?
yeah, how you spell Oxid.
There's 1.
Is there any dashes or anything, or is it just
No.
straight up?
It's just straight up.
Okay. So it's spelled like you would imagine.
I believe so. Let's see what we got here.
1 second. Just going back into history.
Before the card existed.
Yep. Okay. So in recent history, let's see. Some mono red decks, Boros earlier this year, Red Black Vampires, Boros from Paul Reitzel at the Pro Tour. That was earlier this year.
That was a Stoneforge mistake deck.
Yep, understand, but you know you can use the decks that had different cards in it as a basis for figuring out what you like, right? Stoneforge Naya at the beginning of the year, Boros at the middle of the year.
Vampires.
Whoa.
Rug with Hero. Look at the Naya Vengevine deck by
Ryan O'Connor.
not the floofy hair Ryan O'Connor. Yeah, that one. This is
Okay. So again, it's a Stoneforge Mystic deck.
but it's a Fauna Shaman deck too.
But it's a Fauna Shaman deck, right. And we've got 1 Hero of Oxid Ridge, 4 Squadron Hawks, a bunch of random cards that are essentially toolbox cards, which I'm not going to go into the full details. But it does not look like this particular style build is like the uber aggressive, like a landfall style.
I kind of like Chris Cronenberg's idea of birthing potting into Hero. Just straight from your deck into play and attack.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was in his deck. We saw him Fauna Shaman it up, but
Yeah,
you can birthing pod that too.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. He did have that as a times 1 of, right?
Yep. One of his various singletons. Pumps up all the random mana guys he has attacking.
If we look at Paul Reitzel's deck from the Pro Tour, he had 3 Stoneforge Mystics, but that's an interesting thing to note. He did not have 4 Stoneforge Mystics. He had 3 Stoneforge Mystics, which says to me he was not leaning entirely on Mystic.
To be fair, he did admit that he didn't really test for that Pro Tour.
Well,
So
that's fair. But it also does mean that, like, even without as many, there's still a kernel of potential there, right?
I think that Squadron Hawks gets a lot worse as a Spike Shot Elder without equipment to make them good. At least in this aggressive style deck. Though Squadron Hawks plus Hero is pretty nice.
Right, and he only has 1 Spike Shot Elder, so it's not like a huge portion of his deck. You can easily replace that with Grim Lavamancer.
Oh yes. Yeah, that guy's really awesome.
So then let's say you've got your opening deck, right? Goblin Guide, Grim Lavamancer, Step Links.
Yeah, 12.
There's a good 12. Your 2's probably going to be Geopede Squadron Hawk.
I don't really like Squadron Hawk, but that's debatable. Like the options are like Geopede, Squadron Hawk, what was it? Porcelain Legionnaires, not unreasonable.
That's not unreasonable.
Spine Thopter's not unreasonable. Just guys that attack pretty well.
Yeah. You could play the new guy whose name I can't remember. That's red 1 and he has Bloodthirst.
Storm, him, yeah. Storm something Berserker. I don't know how much I like him. Requires you to like curve into actually hitting them.
I mean, obviously, it's not necessarily Yeah, Stormblood Berserker.
There we go.
It's not necessarily a auto-include. I'm just brainstorming,
Yeah,
you know?
there's got to be some.
Looking for
Could kill
aggressive
two people
2-drops.
still. I mean, I know I played Stormfront Pegasus for a while, but that guy was a little bit, pretty bad. Yeah. So, do you want to pull this up on Moto and take a look at what we got?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. New deck. Standard cards.
I mean, if he wasn't white, you could go Hate Bear style and Grand Abolisher, but that's hard to run in a Goblin Guide deck. You
Okay.
don't have, what's it called? You don't have filter lands to help
let's look at
things out.
all creatures.
Red and white that are forecasting cost or less?
Well, I was going to just look at 2 cost guys first and just
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
make a
yeah.
curve.
That's fair.
So,